Human behavior flows from three main sources: desire, emotion, knowledge. Knowledge is the treasure of the wise man. But beware of false knowledge, for it is more dangerous than ignorance. Forget all you know, or think you know. Abandon power and force decree. Inward, where the deepest rivers flow. Find the currents of eternity. And as always, welcome to my mania. Good evening and welcome to Untethered. I'm Jake Johnson, your host. What's happening, everybody? Oh, it's a lovely day. We're here in Kauai. That's off of Hawaii. Hawaii. Darlene, what's happening, darling? Lovely to see you. I'm getting some fun in the sun here in Hawaii off of Kauai. It is beautiful. Sun is shining. My future's so bright I gotta wear shades. Yes, I am quite well. I'm glad to hear you're doing good too. Welcome to the podcast. Fake it till you make it, they say. That's right. Fake it till you make it. Or, make it till you break it. That's my motto. Stake it till you placate it. Hate it till you crate it. How are you doing this fine day? How's the weather down there in Florida? Have you been having a ball? Tums, 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 tums. Been a nice day, no rain, that's good. It hadn't rained here today either, but it's been kind of cold today. I got my toboggan on because I'm kind of chilly. Long sleeves. You got the babies? That's nice. I wish I had your problems. I miss having babies. I love babies. You wouldn't know it to look at me, but I'm a baby dude. It is ready for winter. I don't think it got above 50 degrees today. If it did, I didn't notice it. I've been right chilly all day, wrapped up in blankets most of the day. It wouldn't look very good, me being all wrapped up in a blanket on the podcast, though, so I figured I'd just put on some long sleeves and some headgear. You lost me. Nope, I'm still here. Can you see me? You're back. And we're back. It don't look like I lost any internet connection here. Let's see. Nope, it looks like I've steady been connected. It must have been your phone. I've got a little diagram here that tells me what my internet speed is and my record levels and all that stuff. Drop frames. I've got 0 drop frames. So, couldn't have been me. It's getting that time of the year. That's what I like about Florida. Yeah, because it don't ever get too cold down there. You come up here and it'll get real cold real fast. About December and into February. Is it? I didn't think it got that cold down there. I don't remember any really cold winters. Wet cold, like early morning cold, but not like 14 below zero. You want to experience cold, though, go to North Dakota, dead of winter. I did, and let me tell you what, I've never felt cold like that before. Yeah, we get snow about every 3 or 4 years. It don't snow every year, and when it does snow, it's about 2 feet, 3 feet, something like that. Enough to cover the ground and be snowy, but not enough to, block you in or anything. Now up north, where I'm talking about in North Dakota, it snows there like that. 6 or 8 feet, things like that. Yeah, I'm used to the Georgia cold. That's true. But look, I stepped outside to smoke a cigarette about 4 o'clock in the morning. I had on 3 layers of clothes and a robe on top of that, and a jacket on top of the robe. So I was wrapped up. I went outside, I lit my cigarette, I smoked it. It takes about 7 minutes for me to smoke a cigarette if I'm not sucking it down. I turned around to go back inside and the door was locked. Apparently it had locked behind me. Everybody that was with me in the band, they were all in the band room sleeping, and they had noise-canceling headphones on so they couldn't hear each other snore. That meant they couldn't hear me knocking on the door either. And in 5 minutes, I started getting tunnel vision and considering my options. Like, can I make it to the store across the street, or am I going to die out here? 5 minutes, I started getting tunnel vision. I couldn't feel my hands anymore. I couldn't hold myself still enough to pick the lock. I had lock picks, but I couldn't do it. Couldn't hold them together to pick the lock. So I kicked the door in. It's the only thing I had to do, the only option I had. If I'd have stayed out there another minute, I would have froze to death. I could already feel my blood slowing down, like I started getting tunnel vision. I was going out. I was in the process of passing out from the cold. That's how cold it was. It was like 40 below zero down there, up there. I don't remember the exact temperature, but it was cold enough it scared me, and I was only out there for 10 minutes max, and it scared me. That's how cold it was. I've never been that cold before. So I just reared back and kicked the door in and fixed it the next day. But I was glad to get back in that building. I ended up spending about $100 fixing the door because I smashed it in. But it was worth it. I wasn't going to stay out there. And I knew I didn't think I could make it across the street to the store to warm up. That's how cold it was. I thought I'd probably fall by the wayside before I got there. And it was just across the street. Yeah, you don't want to be trapped out there in the cold. And I was so close to Canada, I could throw a rock and hit the Canada border. So that's how far up I was. I was in Minot, North Dakota. It's right up top North Dakota. I was playing. It's on the road. That was right before Mama died. Right before, like a week before she died, I came back. So that was what, 2015? I ain't forgot it though. That was some cold ass weather. And I gotta tell you, I didn't like that at all. And I hope I never experience that again. And if I do, I hope I got a thicker jacket because I was not prepared for that kind of cold. I had my jacket, my cold weather clothing with me, but it was for this cold weather here. I had no idea what the difference was. The jackets you wear here don't cut it up there. You gotta have like down and ox fur and shit. Yeah, I'm glad too. I just did make it, but I called her every single day. I talked to her on the phone about an hour a day while I was gone. So we didn't miss any time together. I just wish I were there longer, you know, but I didn't know she was going to go that fast either. She was in good spirits and in good health, it seemed. Seemed like she had a lot of time left. I like cold weather. I just don't like really cold weather. I like it cold enough I can wrap up in a blanket and be warm. Or walk around in my pajamas and be warm. You know, my sweatpants and all that. But I don't like it so cold that there ain't nothing I can do to warm up. Or the only thing that'll save you is a fire. And that's too cold. I can put on enough clothes to be warm, but I can't take off enough clothes to be cool. I don't like hot weather. It gets so hot I can't breathe. Too hot. It's odd though because I don't ever remember the weather in Florida bothering me. But it gets really hot in Florida. I got in with my phone service instead of Wi-Fi. Woohoo. Hey, April. That's what I thought too. That's why I didn't get there sooner. Yeah. Thought I had plenty of time. But when it's time, I reckon. And there ain't much you can do to stop it. I tried everything I knew how to try, and it wasn't enough. Yeah, if you're gonna live in Florida, you got to have an air conditioner. There just ain't no two ways about it. It's too hot. Am I cold? Yeah, I'm cold. No, I don't have a hoodie on. I'm just wearing my toboggan. Long sleeve shirt. I've been cool all day. It's been chilly. And I'm nursing my throat, so I'm staying wrapped up. I'm not really too cold. I just don't want to get a chill, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to do anything to make it worse. Yep, that's what that is. Toboggan. Yeah, I got heat. It ain't cold enough to turn the heat on. Yes, I did. Thank you. I didn't know who that came from, but thank you very much. I will put it to good use, I promise. I got you a new background. You notice it? We're in Kauai. That's an island off of Hawaii. Yes, ma'am. Me too. Well, I kind of am in it. I thought you might like it. Yeah, that's a big one, isn't it? That one there, that's probably 100 foot tall. It's way on up there. And that whole island is just rocky mountains, like jagged, sheer face mountains. And them little trees. They don't get very tall, those trees, but they're pretty. Nice and thick and lush. Yeah, some of them are. That one was. See, here's a top-down view of a different one now. And this one's a kind of a short one, but it's got some white water at the bottom. You wouldn't want to go off of it in a raft, but it ain't but about probably 20, 30 feet to the bottom of that one. See, them trees, they don't get very tall. 20 feet, 30 feet, something like that. The biggest ones. You see the grassland back there behind it? Right there. So you can kind of guess at how tall they are. It looks like some kind of building right up in here. Right there. It's so extraordinary. Yeah, there's some pretty lands out there. They say that Hawaii is God's country because it's the most beautiful place in the world. They call it God's Island. With the exception of New Zealand, I think they're probably right. It's one of the most beautiful places in the world. I mean, just look at that background. Imagine seeing that every day, just looking out your window. The mountains in the back there. And that lush green and the bright blue skies and the water everywhere. It's paradise. No, I wouldn't want to go down a raft that high up. Wow, you'd die most likely. Or at the very least be in a bad mood when you got to the bottom. Look at that ocean. Bright blue, just as clean. There's islands somewhere in Hawaii where they got 3 different colored beaches, red, blue, and green. The sand is actually colored. It is paradise. Don't look like it, it is. Everybody dreams of going to Hawaii. Really? They say that it's because of the type of fish. You know, sand is made by fish. They'll eat and then they'll shit out the sand. I'm not exactly sure how they do it, but they do it. So when you're laying on the beach, you're laying on thousands and thousands of years of fish shit. Yep. Well, when Elvis was there, it really was paradise. Then you had everything in Hawaii. Uh-huh. Yep. So the type of fish that live around that island, when they shit the sand out, it comes out that color. So you got green sand and reddish sand and bluish sand. And they call it a good luck to go out on those beaches. You learn something new every day, don't you? I'm talking about sand now, not dirt. That white sand, or whatever color it ends up being, that's usually on the beach. You can dig down beneath it and you can find the dirt under it. But the sand is caused by fish shit. I'll have to look it up and find out what the exact process is and explain it to you that way, but I'm pretty sure that you can find that on your own. It's interesting to know, though, especially if you're going to be going laying out in it. Look at that. That's a sheer cliff wall with nothing but green all over it. Kudzu or something. Literally, yep. Shit and dead bodies. You ever walk into your kitchen and catch the sunlight and you see that dust is just kind of floating through the beam? You ever see that before? That dust is your skin. And every time you take a breath, you're sucking in a mouthful of it. Did you know that every 7 years you lose an entire human body? All of your cells regenerate every 7 years. So you're a completely new person in 7 years. You're literally not the person you were 7 years ago because all of your cells have regenerated and flaked off. Gross, yeah. It's gross, but it's true. Stick with me, kid. I'll tell you some things that'll make you not sleep at night. But in a good way. No, the 7-year itch is about birth. Remember the old movie, The 7-Year Itch? That's about getting horny and wanting to make babies. But it comes from the same mythos. But quite literally, you shed all of your dead cells in bowel movements and in fluid exchange and flaking off your skin, and your liver eats some of it up. So every 7 years, all of the cells in your body are completely regenerated and the old stuff goes away. So you're literally a new person. And that is why they say that every 7 years your luck will change, because you change. But if you go back and watch some of them old movies, things that you found romantic or charming in the old days, if you look at them with fresh eyes, you'll be amazed. I'll give you an example. You know Indiana Jones? Remember that movie? Remember the relationship between him and Marion? How romantic and sweet that was? Do you remember? That was like the pinnacle of manhood, to love a woman like that, to walk back into her life after years and years and just swoon her and kiss her, and now you're back together again. It was lovely. There's only one problem. When she met Indiana Jones, she was 12 years old, and they had a sexual relationship, and he was a professor. So Indiana Jones was a child molester, and they wanted, if you read the script in the notes, in the script notes, they wanted to make her 10 years old, but they thought that would be creepy, so they made her 12. Matter of fact, every relationship Harrison Ford has ever been in every movie he's ever been in, it was a forceful relationship, meaning she said no and he did it anyway. You go back and watch some of those old movies where a man will walk in and smack a woman across the lips and then kiss her. It ain't as romantic as it was in those days. It just seemed like it at the time. It's kind of weird, actually. Or watch Magnum P.I. Remember Magnum P.I., how cool Thomas Selleck was and how interesting that him and his friends were? They were all gay. If you don't believe me, go back and watch those old episodes and look at how they dressed. Thomas Magnum with his big, thick, filthy mustache and them little shorty shorts with his balls hanging out. And then Rick and TC with their little bandanas on. Oh, yeah. Things were not what they seemed. We just were, I always wondered about it because I never caught it. In those days, it never dawned on me. And I think we were just naive. We didn't know that those things existed, so we didn't see it. But if you go back and look at old cinema, there's a lot of questionable behavior. It's fascinating. Old James Cagney, here's looking at you, kid. One of these days, Alice, pow, right in the kisser. Yeah. How about them apples? Don't know what to think about that, do you? Gone with the Wind. She was a hooker. She literally slept her way into money. And that was her plan from the get-go. She was not a hero. She was a slut. My mom used to love Scarlett O'Hara. I was like, Mom, have you paid attention to this movie? Because I watched it with her one time. I was like, are you seeing what I'm seeing? No, she's a strong woman. She's just doing what she's got to do to survive. I'm like, I'm pretty sure she could get a job. I think she's choosing to lay on her back. Now, who said it? It's one of those guys, Humphrey Bogart. Here's looking at you, kid. I think you're right. Humphrey Bogart, is that right? What about old Lauren Bacall? You remember her? Oof. Yep, Humphrey Bogart, that's right. You got me. I stand corrected. That's hard to do. You ought to pat yourself on the back. Look at those mountains. It's like a bird's eye view of God's most beautiful work. Me one? That's right. You one, me zero. Let's see. What else we got? You know Brad Pitt and Tom Hanks. I'll tell you something about them that'll make it where you can't watch their movies anymore without noticing it. Every movie that Tom Hanks has ever been in, he pees outside. And every movie that Brad Pitt has ever been in, he's eating throughout the entire movie. Like just shoving food in his face in just about every scene. Every movie that Kevin Bacon is in, he appears nude. It's in his contract. Or it used to be. It may not be now that he's gotten older, but when he was younger, it was. Every movie star has a certain trait. And if you look for it, you can find it. But it's almost like it's guaranteed. It's the thing they do. And they do it in every single movie they're in. Every single movie star has a trait. And they all do them in every movie. What's the point? It's just it's an observation. The next time you see a Brad Pitt movie, look, you'll see him eating in every scene. Be shoving food in his mouth. And then you won't be able to not notice it because it's obvious once you see it. Every movie that Bruce Willis is in, he's got a little thing that he does. Same thing with all of them. Flatliners, I believe, and one scene in the showers, but he was covered, but he still appeared nude in every movie. I think when he got older, he changed that because I've seen a couple movies, either they cut it out or he's changed that, but all of his younger movies, once he became a movie star, I'm not talking about Footloose, but after that, once he became a movie star, he appears naked in every single movie. And we're talking about Kevin Bacon. Yeah, butt shots. And Tom Hanks has to pee in every movie. They show him peeing outside. Tom Cruise is always running like this in every single movie. It's like his thing. He's a runner. And also, he rides a motorcycle in every single movie. It's not bad habits. It's just the way that movie stars work. They have a contract, and in that contract, it lists their traits, and people hire them based on those traits, and it works out to be that you're basically seeing the same movie over and over again. Did you know that every single movie throughout the entire 70s and 80s was based on Romeo and Juliet? Every single one of them. There's like 3 movies or 3 stories that every movie's based on. And once you realize it, then you see the same movie over and over and over again. Have you ever watched a TV show that just came out and swear that you've seen it before? Like a cop procedural or something? And you can even remember what's going to happen next, but you know the movie just came out or the show just came out? Well, there's a reason for that, and it's because you have seen it before. Because they reused the same stories over and over and over again in different, they recast it with different people, but it's the same script. You will now. And I've seen it several times watching different TV shows and be like, I've seen this before. I know what's going to happen. I even know what the details are. And then I realize that it's some show that I watched like 5 years ago that probably got canceled in the first season, but I remember it because I saw it and I remember everything. And then I'm like, well, the actors are different, but the story's the same, and they're even doing the same acting. They're doing the same scenes. And then I started putting two and two together, realized it happened all the time. And especially in shows like CSI and those cop shows, man, they use stories over and over again. Same stuff, same character names, same scenarios, same studios, same backlot. They just over and over again. And if you'll notice, so there's certain places that they film at that they use over and over again, like that high school and the who's the guy that made that movie 16 Candles? You know who I'm talking about? He made a bunch of movies like that back in the 80s. Breakfast Club and 16 Candles and on and on and on and on. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. Anyway, there's a high school that's in that show. And they use that high school in everything from E.T. right on down to all of John Hughes. That's the guy's name. John Hughes movies. And that same high school was in E.T. and it was in Back to the Future and several other places. And it's the same location. And if you see enough movies, you start seeing these locations reappear. Like the house that Pleasantville was filmed in is the same house that was Leave It to Beaver and things like that. It's really fascinating once you start seeing it. It's like you're watching the same thing over and over and over again. Same story. Just packaged a different way. Presented with a different artist, but it's the same story. Same thing with music. There's a reason that all pop songs sound the same. There's a particular chord progression that is used in almost every pop song. And it's because it strikes a certain nerve, makes you feel a certain way. So they use it. And once they realize that they can invoke that certain emotion, then they use that chord progression over and over and over again, and then you end up with like 10 songs that sound exactly the same because they all got the same chord progressions. And I do this all the time. You'll see me do it, where I'll start playing one song, and then I'll jump right into another song and play 4 or 5 songs with the same music. And I just alter it slightly, but it's the same chords. So you can see this across country music and rock and roll. And now back in the day, back in the 70s and early 80s and 60s and all that, they made an effort to write unique original songs. And then that went by the wayside as soon as they started churning out hits. You know, you got different establishments and their job is to make hit songs. So they take the path of least resistance. If you go to Nashville right now and go into any writer's room, they got houses set up on Music Row. They rent these houses and they turn them into studios, and then they rent them out to writers. So you might get like a 4-hour block for $200 or whatever. You go in there and write songs. Well, when you go in that room, there's a list on the wall of 200 words. Words like tractor, beer, truck, girl, short pants, you know, whatever, on and on and on. And every country song that is written has to use these words. It's a mill. It's a hit mill. And they just churn out hits, one right after another. Isn't that fascinating? There's 200 words in every country song on the planet from the entire 90s into the 2000s. And they're all about trucks and tractors and beer and rain and dirt roads and, you know, football. That's why all the country songs are starting to sound the same, because they're all written with the same words. But hardly anybody takes the effort to write an original, unique song, that put effort into it, to think about the chord progression, to have it mean something. That's why my songs sound so different, because I take the effort to write something original. It's not like, I mean, I could churn out a hit right now sitting here that would be equivalent to whatever's on the radio, but there's no talent involved. It's just copying what I already know. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I don't do it. And it's a moral thing. I've thought about it often, like, why don't I just do that? I have the talent, I know how to do it. Why don't I just write a couple of hit songs and be all right with it? Well, that'd be selling out. That would be me cheating the system. And I have a problem with that morally, which is why I haven't done it. It's probably pretty dumb, actually, but that's how I feel about it. Old John Hughes, the maker of 40-year-old teenagers. You ever notice how all of his teenagers always act like 40-year-old people with problems and life experience that teenagers don't really have? Nobody puts Baby in the corner. Baby was underage, and Johnny was a grown man. How about that? Silver wings shining in the sunlight, rolling engine headed somewhere to fly, taking you away, leaving me lonely. Silver wings slowly fading out of sight. Don't leave me, I'll cry. Don't take that airplane ride, 'cause you locked me out of your life. Let me stand here behind. Silver wings shining in the sunlight, rolling engine headed somewhere to fly, taking you away, leaving me lonely. Silver wings slowly fading out of sight. Don't leave me, I'll cry. Don't take that airplane ride, 'cause you locked me out of your life. Let me stand here behind. Silver wings shining in the sunlight, rolling engine headed somewhere to fly, taking you away, leaving me lonely. Silver wings slowly fading out of sight. Silver wings slowly fading out of sight. Slowly fading You are welcome. All those years of making you watch those movies, Jake, has been a plus for you. What you trying to say? What chords am I playing in that song? Well, the song is in the key of E. It goes like this. F sharp. Walk it down. B. E major. Suspended. Suspended, F sharp minor, B, E, E7, walk it up to an A, back to E, then an F sharp major, F sharp minor, B7. That's the whole song. And the rest is just flourish. Well, it seemed alright by dawn's early light. Guess he was a typical man. Took myself down, singing let freedom ring. Let the war doves sing. Let the whole world know it's a day. Let the weak be strong. Let the right be wrong. Throw the stone away. Let the guilty pay. It's Independence Day. I don't know any minors or majors. Sure you do. It's the same thing as a regular chord. Just flat the third for a minor and sharp the third for a major. This is an E major. This is an E minor. You got an E major, E minor. And now you know. And knowing is half the battle. You lost me, I only know G, D, and C. Well, it can be done and it's just higher. Silver wings shining in the sunlight, rolling engines. No, it's somewhere fine, taking you away, leaving me lonely. Silver wings, slowly fading down the side. So you can do it in any key, but the key that Merle Haggard did it in was E major. Do a funny song. I don't know if I know a funny song. funny song. Do I know any funny songs? I don't know if I know a funny song. Make them up all the time. Oh, okay. It's kind of a spur of the moment thing. What's up, Great Sky Troll? I am not a milk toast fence sitting Korean, so no tempo. You're not late, you're right on time, you're right where you want to be. Marie Laveau, it's Marie Laveau, and it's spelled like this. Yep, I hit the damn. Something like that. Oh, there's one. Let's see if I can remember it. Chantilly lace and a birdie face and a ponytail hanging down and a wall, giggle and a tall. Make the world go round, round, round. Ain't nothing in the world like a big-eyed girl. Make me act so funny, make me spend my money, make me feel real loose like a long neck. Oh, baby, that's what I like. Chantilly lace and a birdie face and a ponytail hanging down, wiggle and a wall, giggle and a tall. Make the world go round, round, round. Ain't nothing in the world like a big-eyed girl. Make me act so funny, make me spend my money, make me feel real loose like a long neck. Oh, baby, that's what I like. There you go. Well, I knew it was wrong. Bet you got the message. Yes, ma'am, I did. And I'll play it for you right now. By the way, I'm wrong too. But I'm closer. It's French, that's all I know for sure. This one's in the key of A. Down in Louisiana where the black trees grow, there's a voodoo lady named Marie Laveau. She got a black tattoo and a mojo bone. And if you won't leave her alone, it'll be yahoo, another man done gone. She lives in a swamp in a hollow log. She got a one-eyed snake, a three-legged dog. She got a bed-bony body, stringy hair. And if she catch y'all mess around there, it'll be another man done gone. Then one night when the moon was black, into the swoop come walking handsome Jack. He was a no-good fella like we all know. He was looking around for Marie Laveau. He said, "Hey Marie, you pretty little witch, make a little charm, baby, make me rich. Make $1 million and I tell you what I do. Why this very night I might just marry you. It'll be another shaking and her fangs started gnashing, and it was another man done gone. If you ever down back near New Orleans and you meet a blue lady, she's a Mississippi queen. If she ever asks you to make her your wife, you better run for the rest of your life. It'll be another man done gone. Another man done gone. Another man done gone. Hey, Mr. Mercer, what's happening, buddy? Take that. Glad to have you with us. Welcome to the party. I'm still trying to think of a funny song. I know that I know some. I just can't think of any right now. Come over here, sit by me. Tell me everything I wanna hear. I pretend have settled down. Seem to be more into laid-back songs. Nobody wants to get drunk and get loud. Everybody just wants to go back home. I myself have seen my wilder days. I've seen my name on the top of the page. Nobody wants to get drunk and get loud. All my rowdy friends have settled down. And I think I know what my daddy meant when he sang about a lost highway. Oh, George Jones, I'm glad to see he's finally getting straight. Wailing, staying home and loving Jesse one of these days. Nobody wants to get drunk and get loud. Yeah, all my rowdy friends have done riding on down. All my rowdy friends have settled down. Well, that was interesting. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when it's gone. This world just ain't no home anytime she goes away. Wonder this time where she's gone. Wonder if she's gone for good. Ain't no sunshine when it's gone. This house just ain't no home anytime she goes away. And I know, ain't no sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when it's gone. This world just ain't no home anytime she goes away. Anytime she goes away. Anytime she goes away. All right, what you got? What you want to hear? Tell me about it. Tell me what you're thinking. What's on your mind? What's rolling around up there? Are you feeling it? 'Cause I'm feeling it. Kind of burns. Great Sky Troll, what else you got, buddy? Throw something at me. See if it sticks. Mr. Mercer, you got anything you want to hear? Sorry, Jake, but Kevin ain't gonna be here tonight. Is everything all right? He didn't hurt his little tutu, did he? Is he just working? Or is he drunk in a ditch somewhere? Got it. Oh, that's a B, not a D. Got it. Well, tell him I miss him. Drunk, totally drained, on the edge of forever, feeling my brain. I'm drunk, totally drained. I don't know what I'm gonna sing again. It was all I could do to keep from crying. Sometimes it seems so useless to remain. You don't have to call me darling, darling. You never even call me by my name. I've seen my name a few times in your phone. I've seen it on songs where I play. But the only time I know I'll smoke a fatty with David Allen Coe is when Jesus has his final judgment day. And I'll hang around as long as you will let me. I've never minded spending in a rain. Yeah, but you don't have to call me darling, darling. You never even call me by my name. You don't have to call me Shooter Jennings. You don't have to call me Hank the Third. You don't have to call me Jake Johnson anymore. Even though you're on my fine side, 'cause I'll hang around as long as you will let me. Let me. I never mind spending in the rain. Yeah, but you don't have to call me darling, darling. You never even call me by my name. Now this is the part of the song where I say something really clever and introduce the third verse, because you know there's a third verse. But if you don't mind, I'm gonna skip all the bullshit 'cause you've heard it 1,000 times, and I've done it 1,000 times. Get right to the point. I was drunk the day my mama got out of prison, and I went to pick her up in the rain. But before I could get to the station in my Dodge pickup truck, she got ran over by a damn old train. And I'll hang around as long as you will let me. Lord, I never mind standing in the rain. Yeah, but you don't have to call me darling. Darling, never call me. I wonder why you don't call me. Why don't you ever call me by my name? Johnson, that's my name. Thank you. What we got? Sound great. Love this song. Thank you. Oh, I was feeling the blues. I was watching the news when this fella came on the TV. He said, I'm telling you, the science is proved. Heartaches are healed by the sea. That got me going, not even knowing. I packed up and drove down. I'm on a roll and I swear to my soul, tonight I'm gonna pay this time. Bring me to sex on the beaches. I gotta have one for each hand. Let's set sail, Captain Morgan. Oh, never leave dry land. Troubles I've got 'em, buried 'em in my hand. So bring me to sex on the beaches. She said hello, the time and man. Now I gotta say that the wind and the waves and the moon beating down on me eases my mind by leaving behind heartaches and love off the brain. And a smile goes on the mouth with no inclination to wrong. I gotta say that I think I gotta stay. There's a feeling going like home. So bring me 2 shots of tequila. I gotta have one for each hand. Let's set sail, Captain Morgan. Oh, never leave my land. Troubles I've got 'em, buried 'em in the sand. So bring me 2 shots of tequila. She said hello to her good time and man. Bring me 2 fuzzy nipples. She said hello to her good time and man. Yeehaw. It was no accident, me finding you. Someone had a hand in it long before we ever knew. I know I don't deserve a treasure like you. There really It takes my breath away just to look at you tonight. And I know I don't deserve treasure like you. There really are no words to show my gratitude. So I tip my head to the keeper of the stars. He showed me what he was doing. He joined his two hearts. I won't ever think when I hold you in my arms. I've got all I'll ever need. Thanks to the keeper of the stars. It was no accident, me finding you. Someone had a hand in it long before we ever knew. Why, thank you. Thank you very much. I made it. I didn't crack. We got there. It was hairy, but we got there. Let's see here. Mustang Sally, girl, you better slow your Mustang down. Mustang Sally, girl, you better slow your Mustang down. You've been riding all over town. Girl, you better put your fat feet on the ground. Well, I thought you were brand new Mustang, 1965. Here you come around to signify woman, but all you wanna do is drive Mustang Sally. Girl, you better slow your Mustang down. You've been riding all over town. Oh, girl, you wanna put your fat feet on the ground. Hell, you wanna do is ride around Sally, ride, Sally, ride. All you wanna do is ride around Sally, ride, Sally, ride. All you wanna do is ride around Sally, ride. Something like that. It's late in the evening. She's wondering what clothes to wear. She puts on her makeup, brushes her long blonde hair, and then she asks me, do I look alright? I said no, you look terrible tonight. Go to a party, everyone turns to see, and then I tell her, man, I really got to pee. And then she asks me, as we turn around, she said, my darling, you're so terrible tonight. I feel terrible because I see the love light in your eyes, and the wonder of it all is that you just don't realize how much I hate you. It's time to go home now. I've got an aching head. I hand her my car keys. Whoa, and she helps me to bed. And then she tells me, as she turns out the lights, oh my darling, I hate you too tonight. Yeah, my darling, you were terrible tonight. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, alrighty then. Okay, I got time for a couple more. What you want to hear? Shoot it at me. Look at that, fastest fingers in the West. You ain't gonna give me nothing, I guess I'll make it up. Day by day, we just let love walk away, and I'll be the first to say I was glad to see it go. And day by day, ever since you went away, I'm finding I'm still missing you, but I've just gotta know. Does that blue moon ever shine on you? Wanna hold you close to me, feel just like it used to be. And baby, if you feel like I do, you can come to me. Does that blue moon ever shine on my mind? You were right there all the time. I could search and never find someone that does me like you do. There's a part where I'm giving you my heart. I was a fool to let you go, but I've just gotta know. Ever shine on you? I wanna hold you close to me and feel just like it used to be. And baby, if you feel like I do, you can come to me. Does that ever shine on you? Shining on you like it's shining
subscribe, share, and hit that bell icon for notifications. Follow one of the description links below and get yourself a t-shirt. If you want to support my music, paypal.me/JakeJohnsonBand.